Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I am doing an unstuffing and condensing for January, and this is where I unstuff some money from my envelopes, whether this is stuff I put on my card that I need to put back into the bank, or when some envelopes reach a certain amount, I will put them into my high yield savings account so they can start earning interest. And then with that money, before I take it back to the bank, I will condense my envelopes just so that they're not overstuffed and it makes it easier to count because there's less bills in there. So first I will start with the unstuffing portion, and I will start with savings. And here I'm going to go back to my sister's wedding, and I'm going to unstuff 100 from here. So we already have 150 in the bank, and then we have 100. So I'm going to take this out, and actually, because then we would have 250 in here. So I'll take these out, and I'll put this blank tracker in here that I got from the Aesthetic Dollar. And I just like to put like a little sticky note here. It just makes it easier to write on here. So now this has 150 or 250. And that is it for this binder. Next, we have our sinking funds, and first I'm going to go back to card tags. This has 100, so I'm going to put that in the bank. Typically, whenever I reach 100 in an envelope, I'll take it back to the bank. So we will do 50, 70, 90, and 100. And then I'm going to take this placeholder and put it in here to represent what's in the bank. Next, I'm going to go back to cell phone. This also has 100 that I can take out of here. So we already have 100 in the bank. 20, 40, 60, 80, and 100. I might as well condense this while I'm here. So let me take here. And so now I can put, since we already have 100, I'm going to take this out and put a $200 placeholder in here. So now this has 210. And then the last envelope in here is for miscellaneous, and this has 150, which that's my goal. So I'm going to put a fully funded placeholder in here. Let's see, I have a fully funded one here. And what I like to do with these is also write the amount so I can remember like what I consider fully funded for that envelope. So for this one, I'll put 150. And we are done with this binder. Next, we'll go to my high priority. And first, I'm going to go to bulk items. And I'm going to unstuff this because I already have everything I want to buy in my cart. So I will just use my card. So I'm going to take this money and put it in the bank so I can spend it on my card. So this is 20 or 20, 50, 70, 85. And just so I remember how much I have in this envelope, I have another placeholder in here, and I'll just put 85 on here. And that is it for this binder. Next, moving on to my personal binder, I need to go back to mail delivery. This one is also at my goal. And so I will be using my card to purchase this. So I just want to take this out and put it in the bank. So we should have 120. So 50, 70, 90, 110, and 120. Perfect. And this is now fully funded. So I'm going to put this fully funded placeholder in here. And again, put a little sticky on here so I know it has 120. And then I'm going to go back to spending, which here I have a few on here. So let's see. The first one I already unstuffed. And then we have this one here for 120. And then, oh, that's it actually. So we just need to pull out 120. I'll just do 120. It makes it a little bit easier. And then I'll just come back and condense this later. A lot of the trackers I'll just update later. I do have this from Aya Plans, which is really nice because you can put like the in the bank tracker and then the cash in the envelope. So all the ones I'm putting in the bank, I'm going to move over to this side, but I'll just do that later. So right now I took out 120, so this should have 171 now. Sorry, it should have 71, not 171. And that is it for this binder. And then my last binder to unstuff is for Archie. So I will start with food and treats. I did buy his bag of food and that was $70. So I will take out 100 and put back in 30. So then we should now have 20, 41. And then the last envelope I will unstuff is for Petco, which this is just going back to the bank because it reached 100. And this is all 100 here. Let me just make sure. So 20, 40, 60, 80, 90, 91, 92, 93, 94, 95, 96, 97, 98, 99, and 100. Perfect. And then I'll put my $100 placeholder in here. And that is it for the unstuffing. I'm just going to calculate all this and make sure we have the correct amount before we start our condensing. So we should have 945 here. All right, so now let me condense my envelopes. I will start with my travel binder here. This is pretty thick because I think we have a lot of ones in here. So let's see. I can like barely even close it. All right, so this one's empty. Empty boarding. We have, let's see, 5, 10, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. And then excursions, and here there is, oh, there's a ton of ones. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, and 40. Next, for flight, this is fully funded. Food and drink. Oh, wow. I did not realize how many ones I had in here. That's good, though, because I can always use more ones. So this has 10, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, and 27. Oh, because it has an IOU. So let's see here. 20. So there's still 27. And then gas, I think there's only $1 in here. Yep. Pre-trip shopping has 5. Just gonna replace it. Souvenirs, how much is in here? I think $1. Yep. And then spending money has 5. Transportation has 10. Unexpected expenses has 10. And that is it for this binder. Moving on to Mini Monday. Let's see, number 1 has 5, 6, 7, and 8. Number 2, this is a new one, so it's empty. 3. I think this is already condensed. Let's see, 20, 25, 26, 27, and 28. Number 4 has 10, 15, 20, 21, and 22. So there's still 22 in here. Number 5. This has 5, 6, and 7. And then number 6. This has 10, 15, 20, 25, 26, 27, and 28. All right, so we still have 28. Perfect, and that is it for this binder. Next, moving on to my At the Mall, which I think this has a lot of 5s and 1s in it too. So we'll start with the bookstore. This has 20, 25, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, and 36. So then there's still 36. And then for the clothing store, this has 20, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, and 36. So this still has 20, 30, 35, and 36. Next, for the electronics store, this has 10, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. So there's still 21 in here. Next, for the furniture store, we have 10, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, and 26. All right, so we still have 26 here. And then the grocery store has, let's see, 10, 15, 20, 25, 26, 27, 28, and 29. All right, so we still have 29. Yep. And then the restaurant, this one has 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. And I had a star note, which I want to keep. Put it in here. So we still have 15. And then for donations, I think there's 6 in here, or 7. I just want to replace this one. So we still have 7. Perfect. That is it for this binder. Next, for Saving Sunday, I think I condensed this. Or maybe I haven't. I can't remember. Okay, so this one here for the added up had 63. So 20, 40, 60, 61, 62, and 63. So let me replace these. So then we still have 63. And then for number 2, this one has 50, 70, 80, 85, 86, 87. Let's replace this 20. Number 3, this one's empty. 4, let's see how much is in here. There's 20, 40, 60, 65, 66, and 67. So we have 67. And then number 5 has 30. Use some crusty bills, so let me just replace those. So there's still 30. And then number 6 has 10, 20, 30, and 40. And that is it for this binder. Now for savings, I think this is empty, like everything's in the bank, but let me just double check. Yep, so we're done with that one. Next, for sinking funds, I don't think we have a ton in here. Let's see, annual subscriptions has 35, so that's condensed. Bath and Body Works has 5, 6, 7, and 8. A lot of these I really haven't stuffed since my last condensing. Card tags, we already condensed. Cell phone, we did already, I believe. Yep, there's just a 10 in there. Chat books, that's in the bank. And then we did these already. Perfect. For high priority, we will go back to giving, which this has 20, 40, and 50. And then we will go to household. I believe it's already condensed. It has 115. Important dates has 20, which I think this, I'll change the bill here. Transportation, let's see, has 1, 10, 15, so 115. And then unexpected expenses, I always leave that how it is. Now on to my personal binder. We're almost done. So for beauty, this has 121, so 121. Hobbies has 107. A lot of these are already condensed and I've not like spent any money out of them. Okay, spending we can condense here. Should have 71. So 20, 40, 60, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, 70. Oh, there's $1 in here. Whoops. Okay. So then we will do all right, so this still has 71. For technology, it's just $100 bill, so I'll leave that. And then wardrobe has 125. And we are on to our very last binder for Archie. So let's see. Dog mess, this is already condensed. I've not spent anything out of here. I just exchanged this 50. Food and treats. Did I condense this already? I can't even remember. I didn't. So we have 41. All these 20s are kind of crusty, but I feel like 20s are always like not the best because those are used so often. Oh, let me pull one. Okay, so we have 41 here. And then grooming, this is already condensed. And I'm leaving this in cash because whenever I pay for his grooming, I just use cash. Let's see, other pet care is at 50. And then that is it. All right, that was really satisfying. That was a really big condensing today. So now I'm just going to count this to make sure we still have 945. All right, and that is the correct amount, which that's great to see. And that is it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, give me a thumbs up, leave a comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye.